أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. The brother Abdul is going to be giving a talk today on the sleeping giant of Islam. If some of you brothers could actually, the guys at the back, just come a bit forward because there's a bit of an echo in here, so it's hard to listen. And basically, the topic, you're going to be interested for it because it's a run-up to the conference that's happening on the 4th of August. And to be honest, it needs no further explanation. I'll let Abdul have.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين والإمام المتقين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم. Inshallah. Yesterday I was just sitting down. I was trying my best to prepare for this topic, but the first thing I'll do is that I'll apologize first for coming late. Online, quote unquote. Okay. It's well known that the entire world is well known. They're looking at us Muslims. We are, no doubt about it, 1.3 billion. We're 1/6 of the entire world, complete the entire world. And I'll tell you one thing. All these 1.3 billion, they're all looking at us, especially the Dawah carriers, especially those who are carrying Islam. But they have a slight doubt that we have the will, the capacity to restore the honor of Islam. Much less even trying our best to even try and save our sisters and our brothers from the humiliation they're suffering today. They really look down upon us. But I'll paraphrase. Malcolm X once said, to paraphrase one of his talks, he said, if a people or a nation, he was talking to minorities, he was talking to black people at that time, he was talking to them, if a people or nation don't know how great they were in the past, how then will they know how to become great in the future? How? If they don't know their past. I know indeed Islam had great achievements in the past, from science, medicine, astronomy, great achievements. And I'm going to name a few. And when I was coming, I was checking, I was researching, I was looking, I said, what would be the best one to start with? You see, then I saw one on the internet. I was looking at Islam, there's one called Chairman, the Chairperson. Do you know how that came about? Do you know simply the Chairman, the Chair? Do you know how it came about? It was students. There was a professor downstairs. He used to sit down in something called the kursi. The word chair, kursi, comes from, he used to sit down. Just like this in the iHalaqa, he sits down in the middle and people listen to his talk. From there, he became a professional. The West took it. He became the chairman who does everything. And that's how the chairperson came about. It came as a root from Islam. So alhamdulillah, the chairman just introduced me. It's a root from Islam. It's our achievement. And I'll tell you another thing. There is always a link in Islam. There is always a link between the mosque and the universities. This has happened for over 1,000 years. Over 1,000 years. For example, you find out that, in Islam at that time, when students were coming to the circles, they were gathering in the circles, and they started getting something called ijaza. And today that ijaza is also called the certificate. And that certificate, from the French word, is called baccalaureate. Have you heard baccalaureate before? That word baccalaureate, actually that word baccalaureate, the root word, it comes from where? It comes from ijaza. And today baccalaureate is a qualification given to all international students in the entire world. Another root from Islam. Our achievements. Then I was thinking, there is someone called Jabir Ibn Hayyan, they used to call him Gibda, according to the West. Today they believe he's the founder of chemistry because of his enormous contribution to that field. Then we have, Al-Razi, because I took some simple ones. Al-Razi. Al-Razi today was the first person to set up the modern laboratory. He had over 20 instruments. Most of these 20 instruments are still used for chemistry till this day. Al-Razi. One of the greatest achievements in Islam. Then we have scholarships. People have scholarship grants. All this grants. The Muslims were the first people, first nation, first people to give something called scholarship and grant to students. Another achievement. And I was looking for the link between the mosque and the university. One of the first universities in Islam, which was a mosque before, was called what? It was in Aljazair, in Algeria, in Fez. It's called Karawiyin. Al-Karawiyin is in Fez. It was opened in 1859 CE. Another one which you're famous with, Al-Azhar. Al-Azhar University in Cairo. It was a mosque. But today, young people like you and me cannot even go inside the mosque and give a talk, a lecture. We can't. Today we can't. But look at the link. The mosque became a university. Who will now allow me or you now to enter and discuss this kind of thing in the mosque? Al-Masajid, Al-Jamia. The link, the word Jamia. It's called university. Who will allow us today to do that? Our achievements. These are famous universities. And I'll give you another university this is a university in Africa, it's called Timbuktu University. This was by Jon Snow on Channel 4. He said at the time, and this is Africa that is so backwards. At the time, Timbuktu had 25,000 students. Cambridge and Oxford was not opened. 300 years before it was opened. Cambridge or Oxford University. And Islam, brothers. But Africa today is backwards. It had university even before Britain. Amazing. Amazing. Then I was looking at, the first time I came, I was born here in Barnet. And I was only here for, I went as a child and I went back home and I came back. The first thing that struck me, when I came, I went to Birmingham to study. My God, I saw a church. It was very dark. I said, my God, is that the architecture? Whoa, these people, how they come about this? And let me tell you one thing now. So I was researching and I was looking. I wanted to come with a tube, but we didn't have there was no the train because of the engineering work. Then, if you look at the arch in the train station, the arch, the rosy, the arch. Or if you look at, St. Paul's, the dome, the St. Paul's. Do you know that actually St. Paul's, the design was influenced by Islam? In London today? Do you know that all the train stations that you see with the arch, I think if you go to Liverpool station, you see the arch, or if you go to Charing Cross, you see the arch there. It is influenced by Islam. Do you know they got it from Islam? How great we were? This is how great we were as a people. Not now, we're sleeping. We were great as a nation. It is well known, our work, our achievement covered everything from medicine to history. It dominated, encouraged even the revival of learning in Europe. In fact, many Muslims today believe that the roots of the civilization, the entire Europe you see today, has its roots from Islam. Because I want to tell you now, I want to measure a measure of how we were before when we were awake, and now how we're sleeping. That's why I'm going that way. But you come to see now, look at now. We're now divided. We're now divided into mazhab, into tariqah, whatever you might call it. Everyone concerned, he has got the true Islam, rather than concentrating on the oneness of the ummah. This is what is missing. That's where the argument should go. And at the same time, we have failed to notice that our enemies do not care whether you're Muslim or not. And let me tell you one thing. Today, the followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, now they've classified Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam as the promoter of terrorism. We are all here sworn enemies of the West. Tony Blair, an evil ideology. We are going to Jannah, he said, an evil ideology. Somebody who doesn't even tahara when he goes to toilet is telling us an evil ideology. You know what I'm saying? Look, please imagine this. Yes, they will attack. They will kill us. They will invade our land. They will usurp our resources. Whether you are Sunni, Shia, whatever you are, they will, and we can do nothing. And through our time, from time on, we become weaker, weaker, and weaker by the day. By the years, the Muslims have become very, very weak. Today, that weakness manifests itself in what? Bad administration in our country. Today, it's either Nigeria is very corrupt, another Muslim country. Pakistan is the most corrupt. Bangladesh, maybe somewhere there too, is the most corrupt. Like that. Very weak. Very weak. This is classification they have for us. And on the local level, because I wanted to make this clear as a point, on the local level, people like Ruth Kelly now has come, she came out, she said that she announced that the government hoped to see a British version of Islam. A British version of Islam. And do you know that now the government has plans now for all the mosques, and after Quran lesson, you go to Quran, you go to after school hours, you go to Quran, you learn the Quran. The government now has planned for that also. She wants to control it. Look at what happened in Pakistan. The government ulama, he came in, they forced him, the government wanted to put him, into the mosque, the red mosque. You know what happened? They now ejected him out. See what's happening. Government scholars. All he does, he dances the music and to the tune. The truth, brothers, is that Britain, due to the rise of Islam, especially the West, due to the rise of Islam, they now want to put an obstacle. Why? Because they see us as major obstacle. They see us as major obstacle to getting the resources of the Ummah. This is how they see us. All of you here, your potential obstacles in getting the resources of the Ummah. Apart from Russia today, Bangladesh is one of the largest gas producers in the world. All of you here, your obstacles, let me tell you, you're now calling for, saying now, no, we want a state now, no, we want to secure. No, wait, your obstacles. I remember then, as I always said, the first time Clinton went to Bangladesh, he went with how many? He went 1,500 businessmen. What's he doing all this when he's playing? What are they there for? Excuse me, what are they there for? Excuse me, 1,500. What are they doing there? What are they there for? This is how it is. And now, the debate has now moved on. Madeline Bunting, she's a Guardian, she used to write for the Guardian. Now the debate has now moved on. Now they're using someone like Dr. Badawi. You know Zaki Badawi? They're now using him now. And now they've come out with a new angle. Because I came here to tell you the new angle. It's a very new angle. There's a new debate now they're putting in for the Muslims. They said there is one thing called Darul Islam, the land of Islam. There's another one, they say Darul Harb, a land of war. For example, like Britain is in war with the Muslims, it's killing the Muslims all over. It's called Darul Harb. Then there's another one called Darul Kufr, land of disbelief. Whoa. Madeline said, there must be a fourth. There must be number 4. Put it in the heart of the Muslims. Let that be the argument. And let me give you the fourth one. When I saw that, I said, whoa! This is wicked. She called it what? Darul Sulh. And you know what that means? It said it's where Muslims have entered a contract to obey the law in exchange for protection and freedom. You obey the law. Kalas, it's finished, over. So Britain is Darul Sulh, contract. We've entered a contract with them and that's it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said a Muslim cannot be fooled, deceived twice. This is now the argument now. They're now trying to push, redefine for Islam. We see today that the whole Muslim Ummah are treated with contempt and dishonor. You know, our religion, you know, we're dishonored everywhere, from Afghanistan, Pakistan, everywhere. Today, the United States of America, if she willy-nilly wakes up, she can raid any country she likes in the Muslim world. Kill our people, destroy homes, villages. The United States don't give a damn. It's just one Iraq, and that's it. And we don't do numbers. But brothers, the giant is waking up. The giant al-Islam is waking up. And alhamdulillah, when the chairman here was sending me some of the things for the talk, I came across in one of his writings, he sent one of the survey for the policy exchange. It says that 40% between 17 to 24-year-olds will prefer Sharia in Britain today. Compared to what? 17% of those who are over 55 years. So alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And if you watch very well, people like General John Abazid of America, he's a U.S. commander in the Middle East. He says, Islamists will try to re-establish a caliphate throughout the entire Muslim world. And then Rumsfeld said, you know Rumsfeld is the master of doomsday, you know that. Then he says, Iraq will serve as the basis for a new Islamic caliphate to extend throughout the Middle East, and which will threaten legitimate governments in Europe, Africa, and Asia. Then George Bush came out with his own. You know George Bush, he has to. He says, a totalitarian Islamic empire that reaches from Indonesia to Spain. This is what they want. Allahu Akbar, Islam is on the rise. It's on the rise, brothers. Because I've got some few minutes. There's a danger here of Islam going back to sleep. I was watching a program. It's soon coming to Britain. In the local level, they've left us, the youth, the young, they've left us with something called what? The bling bling. Shiny things. And what is bling bling now? So I was looking at America that day. I was looking at a program. It's soon going to come in. It's soon going to come to Britain. I'm gathering my money. I'm saving up. I'm really saving up for that time because it's coming in December. It is called something called what? iPhone. And if you watch very well, I was watching the news. There were youths there sitting down. They were waiting in line to buy this phone. And on the T-shirt is written, I wait. It's now a friend in America. Excuse me. I speak. I look. Now, I was thinking now, if I'm going to get this mobile phone, I'm going to buy this gadget. But there's one problem I have. I don't have money to buy the monthly one. So if the phone comes, how am I going to do it now? I can only pay the pay as you go. So how am I going to, when I get to the shop, what will I say? I pay, I go. So I came out with mine too. I just came out with mine. That's mine, before I came, I was thinking yesterday, I said, I have to just come out with mine. I'm that old, but I have to come out, I have to go with the flow. I just have to go with the flow. So I'm waiting for the iPhone, and when I get there, I pay, and what? I go. So you get what I'm saying? There's a short word of saying, pay as you go. Simple as that. You see? This is how, you get what I'm saying? They distract you, and this is soon coming. This is how it comes. You take that trend, instead of you to have your concern about Allah, about His Messenger, about Islam, about the Ummah, about Dawlat al-Islamiyya. These are the dangers, this is it. But you have to be very careful. This is how it is. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله.